What's up? Welcome back to Beyond the Launchpad by Interstellar Gateway. We are Interstellar Gateway, some of Interstellar Gateway, and this is our podcast that was created during Flight-7 by these two fellows, and unfortunately I could not be there, so this is my first podcast with you guys, and I'm super excited. How are we feeling?
Okay.
Feeling tired.
Already. We haven't put out cameras yet. We haven't done the launch yet. We are, what's today, Friday?
How many days have we been here?
I don't even know what day of the week it is, brother.
We've been here for
5 days? 4 days?
no, 3.
3?
I
feels
think,
like
I
6.
think it feels like we've been here for a month.
It feels like it's 2035.
It feels like we've been here forever.
Yes. So we are ahead of Flight-7 and very excited to be here. It is cold outside.
It's a little chilly.
So it's a little chilly.
Florida man was not really particularly built for this, but here we are.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's happening now because I'm escaping a blizzard in Nashville where I live.
So am I. In
So
DC.
that's great.
Yeah.
Happy to be not in the snow, but we are in the freezing rain and wind.
It's just
So
that the air is so moist. It's like,
yeah,
it's terrible. It feels
humid
like
out
you're
here
swimming as you're
on these
walking.
streets.
It feels decent. Compared to last time we were here, it was like 100 degrees and
Right.
That's also true.
90%
That
humidity.
was like, it feels like it was like a month and a half ago. So like,
Right.
It does. It does. It feels better. I mean, I just got 10 inches of snow
True.
in DC. So I
Yeah,
get to escape
and
that.
it's interesting. Like one of the topics I wanted to talk about is dealing with the Brownsville. If people don't know, if you guys are watching this and you are space enthusiasts but you've never been here, there's either one extreme or the other.
Yeah.
It's either 115 direct sunlight, no shade, no bathrooms out at Starbase, or it's 40 windy and cold rain and you're freezing. So there's no like nice time weather-wise here. It's just one extreme or another, and I think people might not understand that can cause not only delays with the launches, but it can also make it more difficult for us as people that are trying to document what's going on down here at Starbase because of the elements. I mean, we've been trying to figure out where to put one of our cameras that, we just brought onto the lineup, and dealing with the rain and trying to mitigate, not
Anything.
destroying that camera is
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
I mean, I think forecast-wise, just this week changed like 10 times.
10 times.
Easily.
But
it's the Gulf, there's Gulf in this area.
It's a whole nother level
Yeah.
of uncertainty just
Yeah.
thrown into a game which is already so uncertain.
Right.
And it just kind of leaves us operating, I feel like. How many days have we been here? Say that one more time.
3
days.
3, I think.
3
yeah.
days?
Yeah.
Does not
Okay.
feel like
For the
it.
past 3 weeks since we've been here, I feel like we've been operating second by second, moment by
For
moment,
sure.
and just kind of reacting to
Yeah.
It's not like a
everything.
big blur.
And
Yeah.
I'm from the South/Midwest. It depends on your thoughts about it. I'm from Oklahoma, and people have opinions on whether
Yeah.
that's the South or the Midwest. We kind of consider it both. But there's always this saying growing up that if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
Yep.
It's very similar in Texas, even South Texas. We're on the Mexico border, but I mean, I think it's the kind of the same here
Yeah.
in that aspect. But I mean, I guess I could just introduce myself to everybody. 'cause I
Yeah,
haven't
you
done one
should.
with
We
you guys.
spent an hour and a half last time just
Yeah.
talking about ourselves. I think
Well,
the world
I'll
needs
keep
to
it
meet
brief.
Kay.
Well, my story is quite long, but my name's Kay. I am a freelance videographer, and I came on the team last January. We were out here kind of around the same time, only 10 days
10 days, 1 year,
One year ago.
10 days from today.
And it's wild. I just responded to a job post that I saw, and I remember the username on the profile was the Space Nerd. So in my phone, your name is still saved as
really?
Joey Leal, the Space Nerd. I never changed it, So I was just applying to this job post. It said looking for a space enthusiast that wants to make documentaries, and I was like, "Hi, it's me." And it's wild, a year. I can't believe we've been doing this for a year.
It's been a year.
That's
Nuts.
actually insane to think about. We were just out here. It feels like yesterday, even though it also feels like 10 years ago, just because time here is so crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been wild to be able to do this on a regular basis while still juggling my other work as a freelance videographer as well as a touring musician has been difficult. But it's also been every time it just happens to work out kind of perfectly
It does.
between things. I don't know how It's like SpaceX has access to my iCal, and they
Yeah,
just like, we're gonna put it right here.
Literally only one launch, and that was it.
Yeah, one launch, and I had to go to Switzerland and Europe, so I wasn't too terribly upset about that one, But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I've been fan of all space things for years, obviously growing up, and I have a band called Chasing Satellites that's kind of also revolves around my love for space and
A little bit on brand.
yeah, it's pretty on brand
Yeah,
for me to just be here, But before I came on the team, I actually met this guy over here at a NASA social event. What was that? CRS 17? Was that one?
2019, and it was CRS.
I think it's 17, right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, it was CRS 17.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because NASA tweeted and they were like, hey, we're looking for social media people to come basically tour KSC.
Yep.
And I happened to vlog that entire trip.
Yep.
And he happens to be in some of my shots. And we connected, and then I later kind of shot some stuff for you.
Yep.
My first Falcon shot or like experience was out in Vandenberg because I lived in California for 8 years.
Because you didn't get to see the launch of CRS 17.
Right.
It scrubbed so many times you ended up having to head home.
Exactly. I was so early in my like freelancing era that I like just couldn't afford to keep paying for hotels and car rentals and changing my flights. So
Sure.
I was like, I have to leave.
Yeah.
And so I missed CRS 17. But you hit me up and you're like, hey, do you want to go drive up to Vandenberg and shoot a Falcon launch? And I was like, yes, sir. So that was my first time seeing a launch and shooting a launch. And it was during COVID, and that was crazy because we tried to like post up because obviously a bunch of people showed up for it. We tried to post up, and the cops were like, nah, you guys can't congregate here because of COVID. So we moved like 2 miles back and just ended up in some farmer's field.
Yep.
And just all congregated there.
You said CRS 17?
17, yeah. That was the NASA
The
social.
NASA social.
That's
That
good.
which, what were you gonna say?
That was a good bit of time ago.
That was
Oh,
20.
yeah.
That was 2019. Or no?
No, it was before that, 2018, I think.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
might
it
have been
was
2018.
2018.
That was my CRS 17 applying for that NASA social. That was my first ever foray into this industry. That
Same.
was
Really?
Me too.
that was me buying my first professional camera like 6 months prior
Were you
and
working
being
for
like,
somebody?
"What's up?"
Were you working for somebody?
No.
No.
Not for the NASA social. And then
Oh.
after the NASA social, when I was like locked in, like, yeah, this is what I want to do, I started my own media company. Like,
and then,
Gotcha.
and
not-
then I
like
shot
with
for
zero
them.
funding, just almost like borderline playing pretend like a media company.
Yeah. No, I feel it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's crazy that like we connected there, and then I shot for you, and then I got brought onto this, and then when we did Flight 3. It was rough.
It was horrible.
And then we did Flight 4, and it was sick.
That was horrible.
It was horrible, but it was also really difficult with just the two of us.
You just go down the list of flight shows, like, it was horrible.
It was horrible.
No, that made us.
That
Flight
made
4
us, yeah, that for sure made us, but that also made us realize that we need help.
We explained this on episode 1.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when we were driving home back to the Airbnb, and I was
Right.
like, we're going to need another person.
And I was like, I know the guy to call.
Yeah, and that was it. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, whoever it is, cool.
Yeah.
I
Literally.
don't care who it is.
Just no
If-
vetting
If you're good
whatsoever.
with it, I'm good with
Yeah,
it.
And
yeah.
now you've given me a microphone and a job and all sorts of dangerous things that you can't take
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's been, also, Joey is sick right now, if you can't
Oh, yeah.
tell. Just
I've been
wanna
sick for like
put
3
that out in
weeks.
the
We're
out in the
expending the last of his voice on this podcast specifically for you guys. He's
Yeah.
just going to be a mute after this. So.
Yeah, when I show up to the media meeting tomorrow, I'm going to be like, here we are. Yeah, I got it.
But yeah, so Flight-7, we've kind of got kind of a plan set up for the most part as far as like positioning and stuff goes. We're working out some final details on locations. I think
We
I
have
might
like a
be
skeleton of a plan.
a skeleton of a plan.
Yeah, we
we have an
actually-
idea, a concept of a plan.
We do need to sit down and like, cut.
Lost a light.
You guys are watching live. Our production's going haywire on
We're
camera.
We're
That's
losing
crazy,
it.
son.
We're
No
losing.
cuts.
Hold on.
No cuts.
No cuts. We're gonna keep rolling. Keep rolling.
This is, I mean, this is
Doing it
par for
live.
the course for Beyond the Launchpad. This is exactly how episode 1 and 2 was. So episode 3, honestly, I didn't expect to go any different. So, hi guys. Hope you're enjoying the little break. Our lights have crumpled over in the. Yeah. This is where our sponsored message would go if we had one. So, if you're a company out there and you want to sponsor us, every time that we have technical difficulties during a pod, we'll go ahead and insert your advert here.
Go ahead and shout out Hopper.
Big shout out, actually. Not a sponsor. We're not getting paid for this, but our lovely host for the evening, Hopper Haus, one of the best little eatery slash bars slash hangouts slash space nerd spots in South Padre Island, just outside of Port Isabel. Hopper Haus, thank you guys so much for having us here tonight, even though it's freezing cold and there's literally no one to be found out here. We just really appreciate it. Such a dope little spot.
Such a dope spot.
It's almost like a little hole in the wall, but I feel like...
But it's known in the community.
Yeah, like everyone in the community, this is the go-to.
Yeah, this is the spot.
And I feel like if it wasn't like 40 degrees out and windy and a little slightly miserable, we would have our first live pod audience.
Our first live audience pod. Which, like, what a cool... I mean, we could do a talk show here, like a pod here.
Literally.
Like, we could... In the future,
maybe
like in the summer.
Hopper Haus, maybe a regular thing. Beyond the Launchpad at Hopper Haus.
I mean, that'd be tight. We could also sponsor the stage along with Starbase Brewing. Hi, you're in my camera, my guy.
You didn't tell me I was looking like Eminem. What the fuck?
Bro's gonna be all out of focus and just like
he's gonna be just blurry.
They're not on autofocus, bro. So you're just gonna be all blurry and disgusting.
We could join.
Oh, I was just checking.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We kind of have a live audience right now.
Yeah, we got a live audience.
We got our first live audience.
We could be a co-sponsor with Starbase Brewing, who, by the way, the guy that created Starbase Brewing, I'm so stoked for him. I met him at Flight-7.
Really?
He had a Cybertruck with the decal on the side.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like, yo, can I photograph your rig with my Polaroid? And I gave him an extra Polaroid as like a thank you. And that's when he told me like what he was trying to do with his company with Starbase Brewing, and like to see that he's sponsor of this here stage at Hopper Haus is pretty freaking sick to see.
That is sick.
So congrats. And yeah, pretty sick.
That's what we were just saying.
That's what you were saying. We could be a co-sponsor
Yeah.
here.
I want to have a talk with them.
Yeah, we'll have a talk with Hopper Haus here.
I'd love to support local business.
So let's go to I got some notes here of things, some topics. But yeah, that's essentially kind of my story of how I got brought on with IGW and how we all connected.
Just for a background, Kay is the OG.
The OG.
Of this. Kay was the first to come on board before any of, I think Eisen might have been the first, but other than that, it was you.
That's crazy.
And then it just cascaded into something.
He just said, how many people can we get on this?
Yeah, after Flight 4, it was like, all right, let's find everybody. Let's get everybody. Who needs a job?
No,
everyone needs a job.
I mentioned the IGW OG, you two over here.
Crazy.
Like I talked about this a little bit on episode 1 when we were sitting over there in front of Flight-6 Starship. Yeah. But like literally, if it wasn't for you and like the pre-established connection that we had and the friendship that we maintained over the years, and then you introducing me to Joey into Interstellar Gateway, like you guys over the course of the past year, since I think June when you guys initially started talking to me, when you hit me up one day and you're like, hey, look, you know that sweet ass job I've been telling you about that I had the past few months, or we might be looking for someone else. Like you guys for real changed my life in the matter of the 6 months that it's been since then, and I couldn't be more grateful to you guys for it.
This has been a ride, dude.
Yeah, but it just goes to show, like, first of all, you never know who's going to be, like, we say this in the music industry a lot, you never know who's going to be in a room with you. So, like, treat everybody the same way, like the way you want to be treated. And, like, I gave you this opportunity because you gave me an opportunity, and we maintain that relationship over the years. Like, Brandon has done photographs for me as Chasing Satellites. He's photographed my band Matriarchs. Like, he's been my go-to guy in Florida for photography, and we've just, he's been such a good friend, and so it's just like a no-brainer for me.
And now we get to do the shit that we love together.
Exactly.
Like with this guy.
As they say, the rocket business is the difficult one. It's hard to predict things. It's hard to set dates for things, which also poses challenges to us as far as, scheduling flights and Airbnbs and, all the things we need to do. Camera rentals, which I saw a tweet from a fellow space enthusiast
Cinematographer,
photographer
yeah.
that was saying like, hey, SpaceX, can you guys like give us a date so the rental company doesn't get mad at me for these lenses?
That's
just
literally what we are currently experiencing.
It's literally, it's 100% true. I still have to contact one of them and extend a bunch of stuff out. But yeah, I mean, Starship being in its testing phase, it's just something that's going to come with it. And as much as I hate it, it's also the reason why what we do is so special.
Yeah.
The only way we can catch this stuff is if we're willing to put up with all the negatives that go along with it. Mm-hmm. And Falcon flights get scrubbed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Know that all too well.
A good amount of the time. If they say it's going to launch, it's going to launch. But
sure.
This is a whole new beast.
Literally.
Like even just weather. Getting this thing rolled out to the pad was like a gamble.
Oh my God. We should talk about that.
Oh man.
Real quick before we do touch on that, like just bouncing off of what you said, Kay and I were having like multiple conversations either yesterday or day one, even when we got here, and it was like things seemed so like dire and doom and gloom. Like I don't even know how this is gonna work, or if we're gonna do this, or when they're gonna fly, or if they're gonna fly. And I just kept kind of like looking to Kay over the past couple days and being like, yo, if this winds up being like the most cursed, hard, pain in the ass flight, which it really does kind of seem like it's shaking out that way, but we make it over the hill and get some crazy stuff and just walk away with the W, like it's an even bigger win having gone through the hard times and maintaining and putting in the sacrifice and knowing that like we were the ones resilient enough to stay and get the dub.
It is true. I think every flight we go through, I'm always like, this was the hardest flight. This was the hardest one.
Every single time we're out here, we're cooked, chat.
Yeah. Like for this one, I was like, okay, we cut our cameras all the way down. We're going for quality instead of quantity. Solid. This is easy. And then just a completely different avenue. It was like 1,000 different issues that popped up, and we're slowly solving them. But no, you're right. I mean, if we make it out of this, hopefully this is the hardest one we ever go through.
Yeah, and we've even had. I mean, I personally have had so many issues with my gear. My GoPro card corrupted yesterday. My gimbal is like suddenly broken after having used it for 2 or 3 years. Like just won't even function.
Just my Mac completely crashing out in the middle of the night last night.
What's happening? Going on? What are you pointing at?
You got a blinking red light.
Yeah, it's recording, right?
Probably.
Oh, battery. I would go check that, dog.
I'll be right back.
Stay
right here. We'll be right back.
While we change a battery, I'd like to shout out tonight's sponsor again, Hopper Haus.
You guys are the best. And the burgers here are good.
The place where Star Hopper gets his brew.
I reckon 2025, maybe in the fall, Chasing Satellites acoustic set at Hopper Haus.
That would be dope.
On this damn
I'm putting
stage.
money on it.
That'd be dope.
Would you buy a ticket?
Would I buy a ticket?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd shoot it.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
I'd shoot it.
That makes sense. That makes so much sense.
Funny.
Okay, yeah. So my next topic that I kind of think would be interesting to chat about is gear. The gear we're using now, like in today's age, versus the gear that they would have shot with back in the 60s.
Ooh.
Thoughts, opinions?
Dial up wired telephones to iPhone 16 Pro Max. I mean, you're talking about just the most giant leaps in technological boundary pushing. You know what I mean? Like
on Flight-7, I decided to, for the first time, to shoot on film for photography. Never shot on film in my life. Didn't get the chance to in film school because I lived in Australia for a bit and Dubai in a bit, and it just, the cost of shipping film back and forth, getting it developed, it was just not, it didn't make sense for my school that I went to. So we didn't get to learn film production with actual film. So I decided for some reason to start shooting on film on Flight-7. Brought the camera out, loaded it up, had to learn how to load it up like when I got to the Airbnb, and I was like, I need to watch some tutorials. So I learned how to load film and that whole thing, and then shot pretty much all pre-launch on film. And I changed the roll while we were out there, which is like, why would I do that? This is so stupid.
Oh, that's right.
So I just overexposed. Everything's just burned, done.
Yeah.
Didn't get any of that, any of those photos. They just didn't get developed because there was nothing to develop.
Sure.
But the second roll I shot on was booster shots after launch, when I had figured out the error of my ways. So I was able to get some really cool film photos shot and developed. And like, I'm now obsessed with film, shooting on film.
Did you bring film with you this time?
I did not bring film this time because we need so much B-roll that I didn't want to have like another thing to like distract me. That's not like imperative because like we are so lacking in B-roll, and now I think this time we're like overcompensating, which is not a bad thing.
It's a good
we're
thing.
We're definitely making up for it.
Yeah.
We're definitely making up for a lot of it. Something else with film, which we've already said, like we're going
like 35 mil.
The interesting thing, I've been just looking into like 70 millimeter films and stuff.
Yeah.
Just to see, we would never shoot on a 70 millimeter cam, but I was looking at like the cost of film and stuff like that, and then I also remembered you can't stabilize film. Whatever you shoot.
That's it. That's pretty
Which
much
is why they spend movies will spend like $20 million on gimbals.
100%.
And operators that cost $2 million.
Yeah. I mean, even look at the what's the new movie shot on iPhone 28 years later? The whole thing was shot on iPhone, but the
was it really?
the rig it's in
yeah.
is like $20,000.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
It's in like a cage, like it's not just a fucking.
We were talking about that last time we were here, because the Weeknd's new music video, "Dancing in the Flames," that was entirely shot on iPhone 16 Pro Max, like in collaboration with Apple.
Right.
But you watch behind the scenes, and
it's just
these crazy monster rigs.
They have this huge like PTC gimbal.
Yeah.
And then the Blackmagic cage on it.
Yeah.
Like, and they're shooting with the Blackmagic app. In log.
Yeah. And then they also put an accessory lens on top of it too.
Yeah. Right.
So like, it's a case that goes over it and you slip it on.
Still crazy that you're using an iPhone 16 as a body.
Of course.
It's still nuts.
It's not really it's not as simple as, well, I'm just gonna hold my phone and point and shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
no, it's still crazy, but film's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna end up having some like really crazy like gimbal or rig out here at some point, to where it's basically a car, and somebody gets in the back and is like
a jib crane.
Like literally,
just like Star Wars, just getting into the gunner slot.
Yeah,
exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Like
just roll a tank out to Starbase.
That's just the only way to really do it.
Right.
But yeah.
If you could document one space mission in the future or the past, what would it be?
Apollo 11, easy
11?
answer. Apollo 11, closely followed by the first manned mission to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
But because Apollo 11 was the first human space flight outside of Earth's orbit, let alone to another celestial body, at such a pivotal point in American history, there's just so much significance behind that historically. Like that truly was, in my opinion, like the moment that we're going to look back on hundreds, if not thousands of years from now, and look back on and reflect on it as ushering the modern era of human exploration. Because for a while there, during the industrial growth period and the late 19th, early 20th century, it seemed like we were residing into more of a, just a very like Earth-based industrial species.
Yeah.
I don't even think they had an inkling of a thought of getting out of here.
Right.
Because I don't think they even considered it was an option.
Within a matter of 2 decades, we launched 3 human beings onto a celestial body not named Earth.
Yeah.
And I think that moment is just going to be forever cemented in history as the pivotal point for human exploration, period.
After the Cold War, it was everything really slowed down.
Yeah.
There was no need, no drive for
urgency.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had been shooting people up to the ISS for, years on Russian rockets, and I think after privatized spaceflight was legalized, or more so allocated. I think that really drove a lot of these smaller companies to want to actually do this, or make it possible to.
Sure.
I would say Apollo 13 would be mine.
The actual launch?
No.
Or
Them being stuck up there.
okay.
Wow.
I would want to document that.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. If I could just, you couldn't be up there.
Just be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, if I could be a fly on the wall.
Bro's scripting the Apollo 13 mission failure
Yeah.
before it happens.
Yeah.
Just-
wow.
He's like, hey guys, I'm gonna need you to launch, and when you get 3/4 of the way to the moon, just
Get stuck.
absolutely detonate your oxygen tank
Yeah.
mid-space and struggle
Like-
to survive on the way back home.
Just like
Wow.
just
Just to
seeing,
be
like,
in there and experience the raw emotion of that situation.
guys that had trained for years
Yeah.
Yeah.
for this. And, no matter how much you train, at some point you're going to have some type of fight or flight,
Yeah.
some type of natural response. And just to, be able to witness that had to be something, insane,
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be mine.
This is gonna sound so funny. I have two. One is not an American mission. When the Russians sent that dog Laika and never brought her back. Where she's just somewhere in deep space.
I thought they
Did they?
I thought they
don't-
returned Laika.
I don't think they brought her back. Fact check me. But
Yeah, fact check us.
I'm
We're
pretty sure they
probably
didn't bring
just-
her back because
We're cooked, chat. Our brains
we
are fried.
cooked. But I'm pretty sure they didn't bring her. But to what was that like for a dog to experience? Because you've seen videos of animals reacting to 0 Gs.
Yeah.
But to be alone without a human, just in a pod, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even comprehend what the hell is going on. So that, and I've always told people because people will ask me would you go to Mars if you got the opportunity.
Yes.
My answer is always I would die for it.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah.
But also someone has to document that.
Yeah.
Somebody has to. We can't just go with, and I saw a video. I think it was, I can't remember what mission it was or whatever. It was an ISS video. There's an astronaut doing a spacewalk outside the ISS, working on some maintenance, and he's got a GoPro, and he's talking on his comms, and he's like, "Hey Houston, the GoPro says no SD. What does that mean?" And Houston's like, "Let me check." And it's like a GoPro 4 or something. Let me check. I retweeted it. I quote tweeted it, and I was like, "So this is why you need to send a proper videographer up to space
Real quick
that knows
side
how
note.
to operate this stuff."
Quick side note on that.
Yeah.
You know how we were talking the other day about we'll let them in on a little bit behind baseball here. Repurposing a may or may not be planned podcast at Kennedy Space Center and reorienting said possible episode as a shuttle themed episode. If that was a shuttle astronaut, which I'm assuming it was based off of what you're saying,
we got to get them on the show.
We have to have them as a guest
100%.
and discuss exactly
100%.
that.
Just to talk about that soul thing
Yeah.
alone. But I mean, they've sent,
Because I've never seen that clip, but
Oh
I would
my
love
God,
to. I would love to talk to whoever that is.
I will
and-
insert it because it's public domain.
Sure.
So check it out.
Hey, Houston, I got a question about the GoPro real quick.
We're all ears. Go ahead.
See a no. Yeah, I pushing the button. I see a no SD. Does that mean, do I need that to record? And if it's recording, is there supposed to be a red light on?
The GoPro, I'm told that if it has a card in it, it should have a red light if it's recording.
And if it says no SD, what does that mean? Can you tell me into my camera?
I think that means no card. We'll check it, though. Hang on.
What if it's in there? Well, we could put this one back in the bag then, I guess. Why don't you take
That sounds like a good plan.
All right, well, let's just forget it for now. I'll get it later, or I'll just not worry about it.
Shout out to Shelby at KSC.
KSC VC, the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex.
Yeah, VC. We have an upcoming podcast. It was supposed to be around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Communications coordinator, Delaware North at Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah. And so they're granting us the luxury of using the Rocket Garden. I think we said we were going to use.
That was initially what we were talking about doing. So initially, episode 3 of Beyond the Launchpad was going to be a holiday-themed episode, and we were going to film it with the partnership of Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Just logistically, it ended up not working out just due to some scheduling conflicts.
And holiday closures.
Their park hours. The logistics of getting the team down there for the pod.
Yeah.
We also don't want to, I feel like with Beyond the Launchpad, boys-only episodes like this, it's kind of okay to, run and gun and, shoot off the hip. But with higher-level productions, we really don't want to half attempt it with you guys, and we want to be able to have meaningful, impactful guests,
without technical issues.
A really well put together production, and I think we just want to take our time with episodes like that. Which is why we're kind of reorienting towards possibly a shuttle themed episode, maybe in front of the Atlantis display inside of the Atlantis.
But yeah, I mean, and also with our, some of the connections we built over the years with individuals that are in these different, industry or in this industry in different fields. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for some really cool conversations. I mean, I've got a friend, Haley. She's in a band called Gore, but she's also a spacewalk engineer at Johnson Center.
That's so awesome.
So, I mean, that would be cool.
That's really
and
cool.
that could lead into an episode. I mean, she said, I'll let you guys go in the buoyancy tank.
That's awesome.
There's some really cool opportunities for stuff like that as well.
Put your boy in the buoyancy tank.
In the buoyancy tank. So, we have some astronaut ice cream, so I feel like we should turn this into a
so we're just going straight up mukbang, middle of the pod.
Mukbang in the middle of the pod. We'll clip this and put it on
all
social
gas,
media.
no brekes, no transition whatsoever.
I'm really hungry.
He's for some astronaut ice cream. So Joey got vanilla, Brandon got the Neapolitan, the classic.
Yep.
And I got the newer cookies and cream, made in USA. It's ice cream on a mission, by the way. For everybody that's wondering.
Is that what it says?
Goated
It says ice
astronaut
cream on a mission
flavor.
right there.
Really says that.
Freeze-dried, ready to eat space food. Astronauts on the ISS. Do you guys actually eat this on the ISS, or
I think
is someone just trying to capitalize?
I think that's been disproven. I think.
Oh, well.
Totally a marketing scheme.
Dang,
from
that's
what
crazy.
I've heard.
Do y'all eat sweets up there? What's up? I got questions, and that's the.
We'll get the answers.
Okay, we need the answers. We'll tweet them.
Bookmark it. Just bookmark it. Dude, oh my god. Oh, I thought you demolished the whole thing. That would have been crazy,
This
son.
is the most intact one I've gotten ever. Usually
What do I
Yours is
I don't know what to
intact.
do with my
they
trash.
break apart
Yeah.
in fucking shambles.
All right. Here we go.
Here we are.
How does a mukbang work? I don't think I've ever
ASMR.
mukbanged.
ASMR of the packaging in your mic.
Are there rules to mukbanging?
Yeah, I'm telling you them.
Okay. Sorry.
It's just an ASMR thing. You just have to.
Word.
Ow! I like concrete.
ASMR, your tooth shattering?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
I have it all over me.
So it's just it's just a noise thing.
what? Mukbang?
Is it supposed to? Yeah.
No.
Mukbangs, you just eat food on a video.
Yeah. You eat a bunch of food.
It's supposed to be like a pile of food.
Yeah.
But
Of
instead,
different kinds and stuff.
people do a McDonald's mukbang or whatever.
The
Do
Or a
internet's weird,
seafood
guys.
you want to cheers our
Guys, the
ice
internet's
cream?
weird.
Because that's cute.
I mean, should I bite mine first and then
Yeah,
we cheer?
take a bite.
Okay.
Go bite a corner.
We're just
Here we are. This will be our thumbnail for the pod. Just us cheersing our. Yeah, cute.
I'm crunching away.
Thumbnail. Oh god, so hard. Like styrofoam,
Whoa.
like hard styrofoam.
Why is it so good?
Are you on the chocolate side or the strawberry?
I'm on the chocolate side.
Word.
We're just going right into the deep end.
It's
No shallow waters here.
weirdly satisfying.
I know. It's confusing. I don't really understand how this works.
They take a real one and put it in a vacuum chamber.
Like in space? Word.
I'm borderline chewing the microphone because I want them to hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm up in there. It's really good.
This is really gross, guys. Well, not this, but
But
like,
also confusing for my brain.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry if this is gross for you guys, but we're mukbanging it. me and you might be mukbanging for the first time together.
Wow.
If this isn't your first mukbang, then I hope I'm good at it.
I've only done a soda.
Leave me a
mukbang.
comment below and let me know if I'm a good mukbanger.
Wow. Also, hold on.
Oh god.
Talk about something. Talk about something. Oh, Elon just increased the subscription price of X from $22 a month to $30 a month, starting February 7th.
Thanks, Elon.
Thanks, Elon.
Thank
We
you.
love you.
Appreciate you.
We do love you.
We do
In this
love
economy-
you. Thank you for sharing clips that our footage is in.
Gross.
Appreciate you, dog. Jeff Bezos, thanks for liking Brandon's photos of New Glenn.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh God.
Shout out.
That was pretty neat.
Astro Petite liked some stuff today too.
Yep. His son, Dom Pettit's son.
Oh, what time did it close here?
Midnight.
What time is it?
Not midnight.
Okay.
10:30.
That's good.
Shout out to our sponsor,
Hopper House, where Hopper gets his brews.
Oh, damn it, he's got brews.
I'll jump in on the next
Okay,
one.
let's go.
So it's where.
Okay, I feel like we've been.
Where
I
Hopper
feel like
gets his
we've been.
brews.
Feel like we've been rolling for a bit, and we should wrap this guy up. Thoughts?
How long have we been rolling?
I have no idea.
This is the most insane pod that we've done
This is
today.
an unhinged as fuck
We-
podcast.
Who
we-
gave us microphones?
We
I brought my own.
do we have any more topics?
Topics?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the notes.
I think I went through most of them. Let me just go through. Oh, thoughts on New Glenn and being at
New Glenn.
Starbase versus KSC?
Shout out to Bezos.
Yes.
Shout out to Blue Origin.
Hey Jeff, thanks for liking my pics. I'm glad
Wow,
you dug them.
first name. Hey Jeff, thanks.
I love Blue Origin, and I'm
it's
really
dope.
excited for
Dope.
New Glenn. We should be able to cover it.
Yep.
Jeff,
That's it.
you gotta hit us up, brother. We
saw your post today about being underneath the launch mount and having to leave. We don't want to leave. We want to set up cameras underneath the BE4s and just cook.
look, brother.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else out here. I'll say this. I don't know anybody else out here who's willing to cook 10 grand worth of equipment, but I'll do it.
Full send.
I will do it, and
Awesome.
I'll sign every waiver. And if for some reason it damages the rocket,
How?
Oh.
First of all, how?
I don't
buy-
know.
you gonna
but
buy
if
it?
that's the worry, if that's
You're gonna-
that's the worry here, I will sign that too. I will sign the.
You gonna buy a New Glenn?
Go broke for it.
I'll go broke for it.
The model of 2025.
Let
Go
us
broke
put
for
it down there.
Bro,
Let us put it down.
this my goat. This is my goat.
Listen, Jeff. It's
Standing
for
on
the-
business like no one else can.
Jeff, it's for science
It is for science, no for all.
and for the views, because
Yep.
You know what?
You know.
Jeff, they're sugarcoating it. It's not for science. It's because it's awesome,
Yes,
okay?
it is.
We'll share the
It's
license.
because it's dope.
we will share the license.
We'll share the license.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of sharing license, can we mention what we did
What
the
did
other
we do?
day? Something very cool that we might have something coming up and maybe like an email was sent out to someone.
Oh, I was about to talk about
Oh,
that.
yeah, there you go.
Mhm. So, our good friends, our dear friends at NASA, the same way that they invited Brandon and I out was through a post on X, then called Twitter. And they said, hey, does anybody want to come out to Kennedy Space Center and film some stuff? Here's a link to an invitation. Fill the form out, do the thing. NASA has just tweeted that they are looking for production companies and product manufacturers to film a movie or a documentary series about the Artemis 3 mission.
It wasn't even that. It was more, I think, just more of a creative open pitch towards capturing Artemis, starting with Artemis 3, period.
Right. Well,
Whether
the
that
page
be a
does
specific
say,
product that would contribute to that or they were very open about
Yeah. I mean,
So-
the page does say a show, a TV series, or a movie.
It does. It
Yeah.
it does
But
highlight
yeah,
it.
it was like an open call for pitches, essentially. So we definitely sent an email.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know the perfect production company that could probably
Yeah.
help them out with making something
like-
pretty dope.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe on like the Artemis 3 mission.
Yeah.
We
Something
are
like that.
we are entering into the pool.
We are indeed.
Well, we're not gonna release any details as to
Yeah. What?
what or
How.
how or what, any of the small things.
Yeah.
That'll come out on its own eventually.
Sure.
but we are entering into the pool. It's still a good while away.
Yeah.
But
and they've pushed it back again because of the fires in Los Angeles.
yeah,
which,
and
you know,
prayers out to everybody in LA.
absolutely. I mean, we'll put some resources down in the description as well.
Yes.
For people impacted by those.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's awful. I lived there for 8 years, and I mean, it's not about me obviously, but it's those Santa Ana winds are insane.
Oh yeah, no.
It's completely devastating, and I have a lot of friends, and I'm sure you guys do too, that have lost everything.
Yeah.
Out
No,
there. So
it's rough out there.
It's bad.
It's rough out there. I feel for everybody there.
For sure. And I know Starlink and T-Mobile are providing coverage for phones.
Shout out to Elon and
shout out to
SpaceX
them.
for that.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. They unlocked that. If you have
Shout out to
T-Mobile,
all the first responders.
you can text through T-Mobile via satellite, Starlink,
Right.
without signal. So that's awesome. But yeah,
Pretty cool.
prayers out to everybody there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we did get word today that the NASA lab in LA did survive.
Yeah.
But tons of employees lost their houses.
Yeah. So we can also put some links to their GoFundMes.
Yeah, all their
there.
GoFundMes are up on NASA's page, so that'll be awesome. But whenever things settle down, whenever NASA gets organized on the back end, we'll continue this little process we have, and if something big comes from it, y'all will know.
Yeah.
Just real quick note on that.
Sure.
Something that I want to add. While we are lucky enough to be sitting here in SPI at Hopper Haus, and in Starbase, Texas, getting ready to capture Flight-7. While we're lucky enough to do that, and there's an entire city, community, state going through what they're going through right now. It's moments like these that kind of give us pause sometimes, but I feel like anytime that I have to describe to people what it is that I do and why I do it, I feel like it's moments like these that we can kind of tie what we do into a purpose of providing relief and inspiration, and maybe just like a quick pause in your day, whether it's like a social media post or a video that we put together, or eventually a docuseries or a movie. And if it can give you guys some shining light of inspiration and hope the way that SpaceX does for us when we're out here capturing it, then that's what we're here to do, and to give back to you guys. And we hope that we can give you just a small breath in an otherwise like suffocating situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's how it is for me. I mean, no matter how tough everyday life is, or whatever is going on in the moment, when we're out here filming and we actually see a launch, it's like everything around us pauses for a good 20 minutes, and then even longer than that, because when we go inside, or we hop back on our phone and we watch the rest of the mission, it's like nothing outside of that matters. It's just a break. And those are the things that I think we savor the most. It does make me very happy to know that people look at it, or look at our content, or even anybody else's content like that,
Definitely.
But no, that's awesome, and I love that.
Yeah.
I think any final touches we want to give on this? Anything we want to talk about for this flight? This flight, we are running a 12K camera.
Yeah.
And we are going to try to cook it.
We jerry rigged.
Yeah.
Some shit. We went through. I mean, we hit up a couple different people that shoot remotely for. I got some friends that work for Nat Geo and BBC that are out in like super remote places for weeks. And I'm like, yo, how the hell do you power these cameras for, hours and days? Like, how do you do that? So I got some, we got some opinions and thoughts, and most of them were either unavailable to get here in time or just like wildly out of the budget for a battery. And I think we found like the $2 route.
A $15.
That might do it. And everyone's like, yo, if that works, please let me know.
I'm pretty certain it's going to work.
I think
I'm
so. It's crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's crazy.
We are running a 12K camera this time. If it works, all of our cameras will be the same.
Yeah.
Besides, the current equipment we have now.
Right.
But we're graduating from GoPros to cameras that shoot 4 terabytes in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is going to be fun and a nightmare.
Yeah, I think
Just backing up the footage was like, and it rolled for an hour and a half
during stacking.
during stack, and it took like 2 hours to transfer.
And I'm pretty sure it was like super compressed too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Even at that,
It's
and it
wild.
still took forever.
It's wild.
I think overall our approach for this mission is a bit more streamlined and professional.
For sure.
Some of our tactics that we're taking
That died.
towards actually.
I'll switch the battery. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, just even like tactically, the approach that we're taking towards planting cameras, where we're planting cameras, how we're planting cameras, the cameras that we're utilizing, the shots that we're planning, everything is a bit more methodical and tactical, and it's a different approach than we've taken before.
Yeah.
But I think it's necessary steps in the right direction towards ultimately the production that we're going to be bringing down the road.
Yeah, I mean every flight is a beta mission, a work in progress, and we started with IFT3 with one single GoPro at the pad, and then a nice Blackmagic camera in Port Isabel, and 2 cameras literally, and then Flight 4 8 GoPros, and then Flight 5 30.
And most of them were unusable because the cryo.
Yeah. I mean, so it's
Just
just
is what
been
it is.
it's been a ride, and now we're decreasing cameras. But yeah, we're slowly morphing what our final form will be. Everything is just testing. That's
Just
it.
like the Starship flights.
Just like that.
Or
yeah.
as FAA likes to call it, the Starship flights. Shout out to the FAA. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the 3rd episode of Beyond the Launchpad. And with that, just one more shout out to our sponsor, Hopper House, where Hopper gets his brews.
Y'all have
I
been
got in on
excellent.
that one.
Y'all have been awesome. Thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, seriously.
We'll
thank you guys.
definitely come back if
Absolutely.
y'all will have us. It's to be seen whether we will do a follow-up pod following Flight-7.
Right.
But hopefully we do. If not, we'll do it virtually.
True.
But yeah,
Word.
this has been awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
This
Thanks,
has been
guys.
cool.
Much
And
love.
we will see y'all soon.
Thanks for watching, guys. We love you.
All right.
Sweet.
Later.
Got it.
Cut.
Cut the check.
Print it.